everybody. Happy, I think it's Tuesday. My name's Tiffany. Thank you all for joining me on Zoom and everybody that's on Yoga Salt, Facebook, and YouTube. We're super excited to announce that we've partnered up with Bodhi. So if you want to subscribe to the Bodhi YouTube channel, you can get all of these classes and library of classes that are no longer live and streaming. So after this class, subscribe, and as some say, smash that button. All right, so we're gonna start seated today. If you have a block, I would love you to start in Virasana. If you don't have a block, then just sit in a comfortable cross-legged position. And then just take a moment, let's actually turn the palms to face down wherever you are in space, wherever you are in your home. And then just press gently your hands into your thighs. If you can comfortably close the eyes, take a big full breath in through your nose. Let your entire being fill up as you inhale. And as you exhale, let that go. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears. We'll do that again as we inhale. Breathe in from the belly, through the ribs, all the way into the top of your chest. Gently relax the shoulders and let that go out your mouth. And we'll just do that one more time. Inhale, get a little taller. In fact, use the shoulders this time. Bring the shoulders all the way up into the ears. And then shrug the shoulders, release them down away from the ears. Inhale, blink your eyes open, reach your arms forward. And as you interlace your fingers, turn the palms to face forward to the front of the room. Relax the shoulders again. Take a moment and breathe more breath across the back of the ribs. Reach the arms straight up towards the sky. And then shrug again, lift the shoulders so high up to the sky. Notice how it lifts your side waist. And then just take that over to one side, stretch to the side waist. And then press into your feet, inhale, lift back up and go over to the other side. And then inhale, come back to center. Get a little bit more height. This time, as you lengthen through the side body, can you refill across the back of the ribs? Feel the back of the neck long, the shoulders, they spread wide apart from one another. And then firm your triceps in just a little bit more. Like you were sliding out through a tunnel, getting taller, getting higher. And then turn the palms to face each other. Pinkies a little higher than thumbs. There's a feeling that the thumbs are dropping the arms into the shoulder sockets. And then climb your waist a little bit more. And then exhale, release your arms by your side. Go ahead and come onto your knees and your hands and your knees, you guys. And we'll just begin with a couple rounds of cat-cow. So feel free to move the block if you need to. And as you inhale, lengthen your chest forward. And as you exhale, round. Good, and continue. As you inhale, open up the front of your spine. Feel the shoulders move away from the ears. And as you exhale, press down into the hands. Let the shoulders spread, dome, and fill the back body. And just two more. Inhale, open up the front of the chest. Keep a little bit of that opening as you exhale, press and round. Feel the frontal hip points lift, feel the low belly lift. And one more, inhaling. Open up the front of the chest, slide the shoulders towards the feet, and exhale, round. Good, we're gonna actually stay in this exhale shape. So stay in the scared cat shape. Drop your head. Can you spread across the shoulders and feel the entire rib cage widen with your breath? And then connect and hook the bottom ribs a little higher. Curl your toes under you guys and lift your knees just an inch off the floor. So you're staying in the scared cat shape. Feel the drop of the head, the spreading of the shoulders, and then work your sternum, your front chest, lifting a little higher, rounding a little bit higher. And as the more that you lift and round, can you include the lowest part of your ribs too? Aurora, shift your shoulders forward. Yes. And then anchor your tailbone down, lift your frontal hip points one more inch. Beautiful, you guys. And then take it all the way to downward facing dog. Exhale. As you rise high up onto your toes, let's swivel the heels over to one side, the toes to the other, and just yawn out the side body. Push the hips way up and back. Come back up as you inhale. and take it over to the other side as you exhale. And feel the hands pressing, feel the hips reaching up. Inhale, come back to center, and find your downward facing dog, exhale. And so as you ground into all 10 of your fingers, anchor into that first finger, knuckle, and thumb. Firm your forearms in a little bit more as you spread through your shoulders. And then take those upper outer arms right at your triceps and squeeze in towards the front of your chest. Can you keep that work and just lift your bottom ribs a little higher to the sky? And slide yourself forward into your plank as you inhale. We'll be here for a little while. If you need to modify, please take care of yourself. Press into your feet, so much so that you actively lift the frontal hip points, kind of like we were in that scared cat position. And then press into your hands and pull your hands towards your feet so the collarbones widen. Beautiful, these look awesome. Fill across the back of your chest. If this is enough, I want you to stay right here. You can hover your right foot, reach it back. Notice as the right leg extends off the floor, did your right waist drop? So I want you to lift up through the bottom right ribs as you hug your left hip in. Place the right foot down, reach your left leg back, extend it away from you, and connect it from the left side of your waist. Left waist high, that was it, beautiful. Place the foot down and downward facing dog, exhale. Take the feet as wide as the mat, you guys. Go ahead and walk your hands back to meet your feet. Grab a hold of your elbows as you fold over the legs. And feel the weight of your elbows a little heavier towards the toe tips. Let the back of the skull anchor towards the earth. Switch the cross of the elbows. Feel free to put enough of a bend into the knees so that you can feel a sense of release through the entire spine. Soften the jaw. And then gently release your hands towards the floor. We're going to keep the feet wide as we inhale, come up onto the fingertips. And slowly walk yourself forward to your downward facing dog with the legs staying wide. And then keeping the legs wide, inhale, rise up onto your right fingertips. And then start to walk your right hand halfway back to meet your right foot. Pause here. Extend your left leg straight back behind you. And then come onto your right fingertips again if you haven't already. As you push your left hand away, can you send your right hip further back? And then you might stay here. You might walk your right hand further back towards your right foot. Nice, Anthony. Beautiful, you guys. Notice the control you have through the left side of your waist. And then everybody keep your left leg up. Release your right hand back to the mat for downward dog with the left leg up. And then exhale, bring your left knee in to touch your nose. Shift forward, stack the shoulders right over the wrists. Step the foot forward between your hands. Lower your right knee down to the mat. Use your inhale, reach your arms all the way up towards the sky. Hook your thumbs. Spread the shoulders away from one another and bring your arms ever so slightly in front of the ears. And as you press into your 2 feet, lift your hips, lift your waist, lift the collarbones, and maybe feel a sense that the shoulder blades are lifting your gaze to look up at your fingertips. And then exhale, release hands down to the floor. Lift your back knee up off the mat. Take an inhale. You're in the high lunge position. So walk the feet as wide as you need to so that you have that. Left thigh hugs in. And then stay here and extend your left arm forward in space. So find the left shoulder blade, wrap it around the ribs. As you reach to the left fingertips, can you pull your left thigh further back? Now, beautiful, you guys, stay here. With your right hand on the floor, can you lift your right waist a little higher to the sky? Awesome, Whitney. And then from that connection, extend your right arm forward to meet your left. Stay low if you can. Feel the back of the neck soft, so the shoulders spreading. As if the hands could come closer together and the shoulders spread wider apart. Beautiful. One more inhale. Hands down to the floor. Step to downward facing dog. Exhale. And then take your feet as wide as the mat as they were. Come onto your left fingertips. Notice the shift into your right arm already. Start to walk your left hand halfway back to meet your foot. Pause here. Pull your hips back. And then extend your right leg back behind you. So now find the diagonal from the right hand through the left thigh. Come onto your left fingertips if you haven't already, and maybe you walk your left hand back. Can you feel the back of the neck soft? The lift of the bottom ribs. Keep your right leg high. Bring your left hand back to meet your right hand. And then exhale, shift forward. Bring your right knee in to touch your nose. Stack the shoulders right over the wrist, dome and round. Step the foot forward. We'll lower the left knee down and inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. And then switch the hook of the thumbs. Spread the shoulders wide apart. And there's a sense of lifting from the hips. Can you keep the reach up through the side body and still move your breath into the back of your heart? And as the fullness of your rib cage lengthens, there's a sense of the shoulders lifting and widening so the gaze could look up to the fingertips. And then exhale, release hands down to the floor. You'll lift your back knee up off the mat. Adjust your feet as you need to for high lunge, and then extend your right arm forward in space. So as the right arm reaches forward, find the extension from the right waist, pulling right thigh bone back, but also, can you focus on how you press into the left hand and you feel the lift of the left obliques, left side waist to support you? Keep that, and then just gently, lightly extend your left arm to meet the right arm. Wendy, soften the back of the neck, hug the hands a little closer in. These look great, you guys. Pull your right thigh deeper to the left side of the room. Hands to the floor, step to your plank pose. Feel your two hands and your 2 feet grounded into the earth. The lift of the bottom ribs, take an inhale, and then shift forward. We're gonna slowly, as we lower, push the floor away to bend the elbows. Go super slow, shoulders away from the ears, and then all the way to the mat. Point your toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Reach the chest forward. And lower all the way down. Exhale. Good. Let's try that a couple more times, you guys. Hands press, feet press. Go for length. Inhale. Let the opening of the chest reach you forward. And lower down, exhaling. Try walking your hands back so the wrists are under the elbows. 2 more. Press into the feet. Inhale, press into the hands. As the spine moves forward, can you feel that your hands and the elbows are dragging back? And exhale, lower. Last one, feel free to come up as high as you feel ready. Inhale, reach the chest forward, pausing here. Draw the low belly up, feel the weight of your hips heavy. Lower all the way down to the floor. Any way you want, you guys, curl your toes under, knees up or down as you find your way to downward facing dog. And then inhale, extend your right leg up towards the sky. Take a moment here, hug your left leg in. And then open up your hips. You'll bend your right leg as much as you feel appropriate. And I want you to pay attention to what's happening on the left side of your shoulder, the left side of your waist. So try to stay in downward dog as much as you can. Lift up to the left forearm, lift up to the left ribs. And then square it off to center. Straighten your right leg, and then you're just gonna lower your right foot so it hovers just an inch above the mat, right beside your left foot. Shift forward into your 3-legged plank pose as you inhale. Bring your right knee in, round your spine, curl and lift the ribs. Step the foot forward between your hands. Stay low, reach the arms forward. 1 breath, inhaling. Hands to the mat, step to your plank. And lower chaturanga. Tailbone heavy as you inhale into the back bend. Push down, also pull back. And downward facing dog, exhale. And then inhale, extend your left leg up towards the sky. Go ahead and open up your hips and you'll bend your knee if that feels right. Notice how the low back goes with you. So see if you can't lift up to the right forearm, lift up to the right rib cage, and pull the right thigh way back in space. Square it off to center as you straighten your left leg. And then you'll lower your left foot, let it hover just beside your right. Feel that connection to your center as you inhale, shift forward into your 3-legged plank pose. Shoulder stacked right over the wrist, and then exhale, round. Bring the knee in tight, lift your low ribs. Step the foot forward, 1 breath, stay low, arms to the front of the room, left thigh hugs in. Hands to the mat, shoulders stay right over the wrists as you step back to plank, shift forward and lower chaturanga. Inhaling, shoulder heads back, back of the neck long. And downward facing dog, exhale. Really nice, you guys. Breathe in. And breathe out. Go ahead and walk your feet all the way forward to meet your hands. Have your feet together or hip distance apart. It's totally up to you. Reach the chest forward as you inhale. Find your Ardha. Pause here. Pull the shoulders back. Keep the shoulders away from the ears and hinge at the hips and fold again. Uttanasana. We'll do that one more time. Inhale. Try to firm the legs. Keep them where they are. Shoulders on the back body. Keep your shoulders this wide and open. Exhale, fold again. Hands to your hips. Put a little bend into your knees. Feel the weight in your heels. And inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale at the top. Standing tall at the top of the mat, arms by your side. Take a moment just to feel your ground. Spread through the toes. Feel the strong lift from the energy all the way up through the heart. Big, full inhale through the nose. Release your arms by your side as you exhale. Together, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge, fold forward over the legs. Use the inhale, open up the front spine. Hands fully flat as you step to plank. Exhale, shift forward, we lower chaturanga. Into the back bend. Feel the feet press, feel the inner thighs lift. Feel the back of the ribs lift. Come to plank pose, you guys. Feel the lift through the bottom sternum. And then pull back to downward facing dog. Very nice. Breathing in and breathing out. So if you need to fidget, wiggle, waggle, kind of check in with how the body's showing up for you today. These movements, they have connection to you, the breath. And oftentimes when we get caught up in just the movements without connecting to the breath, we get lost in the shape. So use from time to time the breath to remind you to stay focused, to stay grounded, to stay centered. Rise high up onto the toes as you bend your knees, look forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. We open as we inhale, long front spine. Fold as we exhale. And then we rise with the strength of our legs. Let the shoulders spread, the back of the neck soft. And bring it right into your heart, keeping the length. Again, inhaling. Get taller. Keep that, fold forward, exhale. Inhale is your Ardha. Plant your hands, step to your plank, opposite leg. Shifting forward, we lower chaturanga. Feel the pull of the arms as you inhale into your back bend. Come to plank, feel the lift of the front body. And downward facing dog, exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. And then as you reach your heels back, they never need to touch the floor, but keep the anchoring of the back of the legs. Put a gentle bend into your knees, and can you push your hips further back over your heels? As you do that, fill the breath into the back ribs. Beautiful. Rise up onto the toes. Keep the fullness of the ribs. Look forward. Step or hop to the top of the mat. We open as we inhale. Nice aurora. We fold as we exhale. Sit down into your chair, you guys, bending your knees. Find the Utkatasana. Drive the heels down. Feel the lift of the hip points. Take a moment here and spread the shoulders apart from one another. Breathe more breath across the back of your ribs. Yes. And then hug the upper arms in. Lift the pinkies a little higher to the sky. Press all the way up to stand and bring it into your heart. Exhaling. Good. Let's come into eagle pose. So you're going to cross the right leg over the left. Once or twice, sit down into your chair. And then you'll add the arms, right arm under. And so I'm going to invite you today to actually sit down lower on one leg than you can on two. As you do that, try to lift your spine as upright as possible. Feel the connection like chair pose of your standing heel heavy, your sit bones heavy, and then the sides of the waist, your breath, lifting your collarbones up to the fingertips. If you have your left arm on top, relax that left shoulder away from the ear. Beautiful. And then can you pull your elbows forward and reach the forearms and the wrists forward? One more breath in. And then slowly fly away. Extend your right leg forward in space. Lift the arms. Reach the fingers towards the ceiling. Extend the arms up towards the sky. And then slowly lower your right leg just beside your left. And then second side, eagle pose. So we'll stand on the right leg, left leg over, left arm under. So whether you cross once or twice, you know my bad joke, or 3 times a lady, sit down. And as you sit down, feel the hugging of the ankles, the shins, and then the release of the inner thighs so that the spine can be as upright as possible. And push the forearms forward. Feel the elbows reach away from the shoulders, and then also include the wrist. Reach the wrists away from the collarbones. And then incorporate the sense of the hips dropping and the spine lifting. Take another full breath in. Could you sit lower into your legs? And then we slowly fly away. So the left leg will reach forward in space, both arms to the sky. Take a big inhale, reach to the pinky fingers of those straight arms, and then slowly lower your left leg to meet your right. Bending your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Hands to the floor as you fold, exhale. Inhale, we open, feel the shoulders on the back body. Hands fully flat as you step or jump, Chaturanga. Into the back bend as we inhale. And downward facing dog as we exhale. Step the right foot forward, spin the back heel down, stay low on the fingertips, you guys. Reach your right arm forward in space again. And so as you have your left hand on the floor, notice the connection to your left foot. Drive your left heel down. Find the work of the right shoulder, move it away from the ear. Let the tricep of the right arm drop down. Beautiful, you guys. Aurora, longer stance. And then reach your left arm forward to meet your right arm. Press into your 2 feet. Feel the work of your front leg like a chair pose. Send your sit bones down and reach your arms all the way up to warrior 1. 5 breaths in this glorious, beautiful shape. As you drive into your front heel, feel that both sides of the waist are evenly lifting up towards the sky. Who cares how wide the arms are? Let your elbows get straight. Spread the shoulders away from one another, and then from the 2 hip points, from your back leg, lift the pinkies a little higher. Give yourself 1 more breath. Maybe the collarbones give you a sense of looking up. Release, hands down to the earth. The shoulders stay right over the wrists as you step back to your plank. However you want to get to downward facing dog as your exhale. And then from downward dog, take a full breath in. Use your exhale, step your left foot forward between the hands. Stay low, you guys, as you spin your back heel down. Keep your right hand on the floor, extend your left arm forward in space. So just the back heel, so that can be your strong, straight, standing leg. And then as the left arm reaches forward, can you find that extension from right heel to left fingertips? Stay low as you bring your right arm to meet your left arm. And notice if you lost the connection of your bottom ribs. Fill the front ribs here, a little bit of that feeling of scared cat. And then stamp the 2 feet into the floor. Inhale, rise it all the way up to your warrior 1. Exhale at the top. And notice the little adjustments that you need to make. Feel the 2 feet into the earth. As the back leg gets stronger and straighter, there's a sense of extension from the right hip all the way to the pinky fingers. And as we sit a little lower into the front thigh, use the reach of the arms to lift your ribs up away from your pelvis. Try to lift the hip points up away from the front thigh. 1 more breath in. And then release. As you plant your hands to the floor, keep the chest open. Let's all step to plank and shift forward to lower. As you inhale, open, shoulder heads back. And as you exhale, fold. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel the back of the neck soft. Feel the release of the ears reaching towards the thumbs. There is a feeling that your arms are trying to shift you into plank. Your legs are trying to pull you into Uttanasana. Lengthen through the side body. As you breathe in here, rise high up onto the toes. Bend your knees, look between your hands. Step or hop to the top. We open as we inhale, shoulders back. We fold as we exhale. Chair pose, bending the knees, Utkatasana. As if you had a block between your hands, which I won't make you do, but feel that sense of hugging from the entire body. Press all the way up to stand and bring it into your heart. Exhale. I'm just gonna do one more Surya Namaskar. Be on the breath. Inhale, bending the knees. Put your attention into your legs all the way up to the pinkies. Hands to the floor, fold, exhaling. Lengthen the breath as you inhale. Hands fully flat as you find your way to downward facing dog on the exhale. As you inhale, push to the feet just as much as the hands. And slow, pull back to downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, back heel spins. Feel the 2 feet, and it's your inhale that you ride all the way up. Full expression of breath. And then it's your exhale all the way to Chaturanga. Use the inhale to open up the front spine. And exhale back to dog. The left foot steps through, the back heel spins. Slow the breath as you ride through space. And exhale, hands down to the earth. We'll all meet up in downward facing dog. When you arrive in dog, feel the breath smooth, steady length of the exhales. Beautiful, you guys. Go ahead and come onto your forearms and we'll interlace the fingers and walk it out for forearm plank. And so with your hands interlaced, push more into your wrist than you are into your elbows. Or Aurora, walk your feet back a little bit more. And then as you press into your wrists more than your elbows, have a sense of dragging your elbows towards your feet. Feel how the side body turns on. And then coil and lengthen your collarbones towards those fingertips as you do that. Many of you guys can feel a little bit more weight into your hips, which doesn't mean that I want you to collapse your legs. Feel the strength of your feet and the top of your thighs lifting. Again, if you have enough going on, you can stay. You can always drop your knees. Reach your right leg back. Let it hover. As the right waist supports that lift of the leg, can you still coil your collarbones to your fingertips? Place the right foot back down. Left leg, it reaches back, not even up. Let the up be an extension of lengthening. Move the chest towards the fingers as you do that. Beautiful. Place the foot down to the floor. Walk your feet in rather than shifting your shoulders back. Try to keep the shoulders over your elbows. Walk your feet in for dolphin. Nice reach. Feel free to take the feet as wide as you need to and bend your knees if you have to. Press your wrists down into the floor. Spread the shoulders wide apart. There's this feeling of breathing like a catcher's mitt into the back of your heart. Fill it with breath. And then everybody rise high up onto your toes as you feel the back of your neck release. And as you rise up onto your toes, can you bend your knees enough and feel your inner thighs lift your hips a little bit higher? Beautiful work. Take another full breath in. Lift your chest up. Keep that and walk it back to your forearm plank. Gaze the collarbones forward. Take another one breath in. And lower into Sphinx. Very nice, you guys. Walk your hands back. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. I figured I should smile at you guys after that one. Lift your right leg up as you inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward between your hands. We'll rise to warrior one on the inhalation. And open it up to warrior two on your exhalation. So adjust the feet as you need so you have a lot more space across your low back. I'm a fan of heel to heel, but by all means, you're in your own home. And then reverse the warrior, you guys. Slide your left hand down your left leg. I want you to lift up through the right hip. Feel the length through the right side of the waist. Keep that, shift forward. We're gonna come into the modified variation today. So place the right forearm on the right thigh, reach the top arm up towards the sky, spin it deep in the shoulder and extend it forward to the front of the room. And with your right elbow pressing into your right leg, can you feel a sense of your right hip lifting? Lengthen your right waist forward towards the fingertips. And as you feel the 2 feet onto the floor, take a big inhale into those top ribs. And as you exhale, it's as if the top ribs can drop down and the right ribs can roll all the way forward and up to the left fingertips. Beautiful. Top hand, as if you could push it into something. Feel like you were high-fiving someone, that your entire shoulder and side body connects. And as you press your 2 feet into the floor, hug the right leg in a little bit more. And if it makes sense, reach your right arm to meet your left arm. So both arms are overhead. Nice, and connect from your left heel all the way through your right fingertips. And remember that feeling of having a block. Get longer through the right side of the waist. You have one more breath here. Come all the way upright, stay low in your legs, open your arms, warrior two. And as you stay in warrior two, let the arms spread apart from one another. Like you could push your hands down into like a table or a shelf. Feel how that lifts and elevates your spine. Reverse the warrior as you inhale. And then release your hands to the floor. Find your way to downward facing dog. And then as you inhale, lift your left leg up. As you exhale, step the foot forward between your hands. We rise on the breath to warrior one. And then open it up to your warrior two. And so adjust the feet as you need to. Drive more of the weight into your front heel than you have into the toes. And the pelvis will be on some sort of turn, but against that, lift your chest. Feel a sense of your hands pushing down and pull your right collarbone all the way out to the right fingertips, like you're stretching the right chest away. And then keep leading with the right arm, reverse the warrior, inhaling. Lift from the pelvis, lift through the side waist. These look great, you guys. Exhale, shift forward, left forearm to the left thigh, top arm straight up towards the sky. And then from your left arm, lift higher through the right fingertips, spin it in the socket and reach it forward to the front of the room. And the more we can pull the thighs back, the more we can send the left thigh to meet the right foot, the easier it will be for us to lengthen the left side of the waist forward and all the way up to the top hand. And can you connect the energy from your back heel all the way through your right fingertips? Remember that sense of high-fiving someone with that top hand. And notice how that turns on the entire side body. Lift the frontal hip points up to protect your low back. And if you did on the first side, bring your left arm to meet your right arm. And could you allow the back of the neck to soften here? Could you imagine hugging a block between the hands? And then pull your left thigh back a little bit more as you reach to the left side of the waist. Beautiful work. Inhale, come upright. Stay in the legs as you can. Open the arms back to warrior two. Sit a little lower into your front thigh. Reverse the warrior, inhaling. Drive into the heel of your front foot. And then release, hands down to the floor. Step to your plank. However you'd like to get to downward facing dog. Nice, Anthony. Breathe in. And we breathe out. Beautiful, you guys. Go ahead and come back onto your forearms. And this time you're going to walk it out for forearm plank. And lower into a modified forearm plank. So you'll drop your knees down to the floor. I want you to really work that feeling of scared cat. Scoop the hip points and try to pull your chest forward. So I want you to be more aware of what's happening in the front section and your low back. You guys feel that? We can call it your core, the entire circumference. If you have enough going on, this is a lot. Try straightening your right leg. You can keep the foot on the floor to start. Recommit to lifting the hip points up. Feels like you're scooping and flattening your low back, and then maybe you'll lift your right leg off the floor. Notice when you do that, if your low back decides to dump, continue to draw the hip points up. Beautiful. Place the right leg down, lower the right knee to meet your left knee, reset. Feel the rounding of the low back, the lifting of the hip points. Step your left leg back, start on your toes. Lift up to the left side of the waist, beautiful. And then if you can maintain that, reach the left leg back. It barely lifts because it's all about the back of your body extending. Lift up to the left side body and pull your chest forward. Lower your left leg down, lower your left knee down. And then staying in forearm plank, you can keep your knees down or you can lift your knees up. It's totally up to you. Start to walk your right hand forward. Yep, I said that. A lot of smiles I'm giving you guys today. Feel the weight of your hips. You can take your feet wide. It'll be easier if your feet are wide. And then what would it be like if you just reached from your right pinky finger, you reach and extend your right arm off the floor? Yes, Anthony. Beautiful, you guys. And then place your right elbow back down to the mat. Feel center. Notice how your hips did this whole kind of dance. Try to stabilize your legs. Slide your left arm forward. Keep your hand down. Just straighten the elbow any amount. Remember, you can do this on your knees. The hips are going to want to veer to the right. So I want you to really hug in and then relax the back of that left neck. Lead with the left pinky finger and extend the left arm, not up, forward. Everybody lift up through the left side of the waist. Place the left elbow down and lower back into Sphinx. Pull your chest forward as you inhale. Smiling is a good thing. As you exhale. Walk your hands back, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog, exhale. Take a full breath in. Use your exhale, step your right foot forward between the hands. You'll lower your left knee down to the mat. And then inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Grab a hold of your elbows. Bring your arms ever so slightly in front of your ears. Feel the back of your neck soften. And then start to lift. Draw the belly in and start to lift the elbow tips up. So again, we're not shortening and shrugging the shoulders. We're feeling a sense of the back of the neck soft, but lifting and lengthening from the release of the tailbone, the back ribs sliding all the way up towards the sky. Do you remember that old, I think it was like a Crazy Glue commercial where the old workers with the hard hats, and they stuck their hats to a working beam and they were just dangling. So feel that lift of your elbows, lifting your side body, and you're just dangling, tractioning your spine. And then straighten your elbows any amount, lift the pinky fingers towards the sky. Beautiful, you guys. And then keeping your right arm where your left arm where it is. Swing your right arm behind you and then bend your left elbows. You're coming into Gomukhasana with the arms. They don't even need to touch. But more specifically, work your left hand. Try to move your left hand to the outside of your shoulder blade versus towards your spine. Notice how that hugs your elbow in more. Take an inhale. If you have enough going on, I want you to stay right here. Can you breathe and lift your ribs again? Curl your back toes under. Take an inhale, lift your back knee to crescent pose. Tailbone heavy, frontal hip points lifting. Breathe everything into the back of your heart. Take a full inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Take a moment to pause. Hug your right leg in. Beautiful work, you guys. Left hand, left shoulder. Spread the left shoulder apart. Wrap your tricep in. We're gonna try it. Shift forward straight into your third warrior. You can release the arms if you need to. Be more interested in what's happening with your left arm. The shoulder spreading. Can you extend from your right hip that left elbow forward? Beautiful work, you guys. Firm, lifted leg. Take another full breath in. Keep the arms if you want. Fold, standing splits, exhale. So if you release the arms, that's fine. Everybody still hug your right leg in. Yes. Place your hands to the floor, everybody. Lower your left leg to meet your right. Take a breath here. Inhaling. And exhaling. And then plant your hands flat. Find your Ardha. Hover your left foot an inch off the floor. And extend your left leg back into like a modified warrior 3. Hands fully flat as you rise up onto the toes of the right foot. Now, before you kick up into a handstand, I want you to think of the left ribs lifting higher. And then play with bending your standing leg and hopping your left leg up into a handstand. Just play with it. Stack the shoulders right over the wrists. We'll meet in downward facing dog when you guys are ready. Nice, Whitney. So as you're ready, in downward dog, inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward between your hands. You'll lower your right knee to the mat. Use your inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And then grab your elbows, and if you can, you'll reverse that grab. Pull the shoulders around your rib cage. So there's a sense of broadening across the back chest. And for most of us, the arms will be in front of the ears. Lift the elbows from the back of your ribs. So there's a sense of fullness and a feeling of moving front ribs in. So it feels almost like you're rounding. Lifting the frontal hip points. Take a big full breath here. Curl your back toes under. And then give a little bit more height through the arms. A little bit more height through the waist. And then straighten the elbows any amount. Keep lifting through the fingertips. Recommit to the sternum, moving into the back body. Take an inhale. And then it's the right arm that's going to come behind you. Right arm high, left arm behind you. And again, it doesn't matter if you ever hook the fingertips. You can grab a strap if you want. But let's focus more today on the right arm and trying to slide the right hand towards the outer shoulder blade. You can even use your thumb. This is one of the ways what I do is I use my thumb and I just kind of tease the trapezius on that right side down. Can you guys find that? Soften the trapezius down and you get more rotation. Reset your ribs back into the back body. And with your back toes curled under, lift your back knee up into crescent pose. And do you remember when you were in forearm plank, lifting from the hip points, especially on the right side of the waist? And there's a sense of the right ribs moving towards the wall behind you. Beautiful. Full breath in. As you fold forward, exhale, pause. Connect, left thigh back, right waist higher. Take a big inhale, and then shift forward into your third warrior. Who cares where the hands go? If they need to go to the floor, that's fine. Continue to plug the left leg in. Yes, beautiful. And lift to the right side of the waist. Feel the diagonal line of energy reaching apart from one another. Keep the arms if you'd like, fold into standing splits. Continue to drive left leg in. One more breath. Everybody release the two hands to the floor. Release your right leg to meet your left. Take a moment to just pause in Uttanasana. You okay, Judy? And then inhale, reach your chest forward. Plant your hands fully flat. Rise up onto the toes, and then hover your right leg up and back behind you. Start to rise up onto the toes of your left foot. You'll bend your left knee. Shift your shoulders right over your wrist. Before you kick anywhere, can you lift up to the right ribs here? Keep that and play with it. Rachel, shift forward way more. Yep. And we'll meet in downward facing dog, you guys. And then go ahead and drop to your knees. Come onto your hands and knees. And then walk your hands, I don't know, like a good palms, 2 palms distance forward. So there's this like diagonal reach. And if you're like me, I'll drop the ribs down. So really lift the frontal ribs up. Press into your hands and then slowly start to lower your elbows so they're just an inch off the floor. And then rather than your chest going with you, continue to lift up through the waist, continue to lift up through the ribs. As you push into your hands, notice if your elbows have widened. I want you to hug your elbows together, almost like you're trying to rotate your palms away from one another. Then drag your elbows towards your hips while still lifting your bottom ribs up. And then inhale, straighten your arms. We'll do that again. As you exhale, try to keep your chest up. Elbows will start to pull towards you and lower an inch off the floor. And then press down to straighten the arms. Good. And then again, slow, elbows bend. Keep the chest rising. Keep your, yes, beautiful. And exhale to straighten. So we're gonna do 2 more. You can stay on your knees, or you can come into downward facing dog. Lift your chest. As we inhale, slowly start to bend your elbows, lower them, feel the hugging still, bending the elbows, and then straightening the arms. Good, and then 1 more, you guys. Elbows start to bend, lift up through the bottom ribs, whichever variation you're in, and then straighten your arms. And then everybody drop to your knees and rest in child's pose. So we're gonna set up for dolphin, moving towards Pincha Mayurasana. So when you're ready, we're gonna line up the wrists and the elbows like railroad tracks or like the number 11. If you have blocks, I love placing a block between the elbows. Lower. Yeah. So again, trying to keep the hugging action, that wrapping from the side body. Stay on your knees and then curl your toes under and lift your knees just an inch off the floor. Now notice if your shoulders have already shifted back towards your hips. I really want you to work on trying to pull your chest forward, your shoulders right over the elbows, and then can you drag your hands towards your feet even here? Now all you're gonna do is lift up through your chest and then start to walk your feet in versus your chest back. Take your feet as wide as you need to. The block might be in your way. You can move it with your head. Rise high up onto your toes. Nice, Audrey. And then lift your right leg up towards the sky. Take a moment, hug your left hip in. Lift up through your right side of your waist, and then get really high up onto the left toes. And then try to touch the ceiling with the right foot. And then exhale, lower the right leg down. Don't worry about it, we're gonna get there in just a second. And then inhale, left leg lifts. Lift up to the left waist. Notice how things get imbalanced. Feel ground. Then get really high up onto the toes of the right foot. Can you lift your left leg a little higher? And then slowly lower the left leg and rest in child's pose. So this time we're gonna try to make our way up to Pincha. Feel free to use the wall if you'd like. Feel free to maintain the work of the block if that's better for you. And then when you're ready, come onto your forearms. So I want you to play with the idea of lifting versus kicking. So when you're ready, you'll lift one leg up. Whichever leg you lift, It's as if that foot could push into something, push down into something, and then start to rise up onto the toes of the left leg or the other leg, and then you'll just start to reach more with your lifted leg to find your way into maybe Pincha Mayurasana, forearm stand. Shoulders staying right over the elbows. Lower that leg if it went well and try the other leg. Rachel, more breath across the back of the ribs. Nice, Christina. So for me, when I'm in Pincha, there's a feeling that I have to work like I'm tucking. There's a sense of Bakhasana to avoid the natural curves, wanting to exaggerate. Go for it, Audrey, you're right there. Try to help you. Can I help you? When you guys are done, come onto your backs. Wow, time flies when you're having fun, huh? You're totally set up for Urdhva Dhanurasana right now. If you prefer to use your block and come into supported bridge, do that. Everybody, we're going to continue on to Urdhva, again, unless you prefer bridge pose. So plant your hands flat. We're going to take a moment and do the first one together. So as you plant your hands flat, hug those elbows together, plug the arms into the shoulder sockets. And as you press into your feet, pull your chest towards your chin. When you're ready, come onto the crown of the head and pause there. You have a great opportunity to reset your hands, reset your shoulders. Now move your shins and your knees towards the wall you're facing, and then lift your head up off the floor. Notice I didn't say straighten your arms. Notice I didn't say straighten your legs, but firm the forearms towards the shins, firm the shins towards the forearms. And can you allow the back of the neck to soften? You'll come down when you're ready. And we'll do one more. So again, Urdhva Dhanurasana or bridge pose, or supported bridge, or scorpion. So when you're ready, last round. Be aware of the connection of the shoulders, the back of the neck, the freedom for the back of your spine to breathe. Andrew, hug your knees together. Yes. When you guys are done, there's no rush ever for back bends. Come into happy baby, grab a hold of behind your thighs or the outside edges of your feet. And then cross at your knees, come into Gomukhasana legs, grab a hold of the opposite shin or foot. I like to flex my feet here and pull the pinky toes back more. Feel the weight of your hips heavy. Switch the cross of the legs. Soft shoulders. Place both feet to the floor. Reach your arms straight up towards the sky. Interlace your hands behind your head. Wrap your elbows towards the ceiling, like your head is hammocked into the support of your hands. Take a big inhale, and then exhale, curl the upper body up off the floor. Try to lift your shoulders as well. As you lift your shoulders, can you lean your head back into your hands? Keep your low back flat. Inhale, extend your legs 45 degrees. Scoop the belly to the spine. Place your feet to the floor, curl and lift your chest higher. And inhale, lower. Just gonna do 4 more of those. Exhale, curl up. Feel the spread of the ribs. Inhale, legs extend 45 degrees. The lower, the more challenging it will be. Low back stays flat. Bend your knees, feet back to the floor. Lift your shoulders higher. And inhale, lower. Exhale, curling. Good. Use your breath. Inhale, legs extend. Feet to the mat, curl, lift everything. And slow, lower. Just two more. Exhale, curl. Feel the neck soft. Inhale, legs extend. Feet to the earth. Lift, lift, lift high. And inhale, lower. You can do it. Last one. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, legs extend. Press the front body into the back body. Whitney, lower your legs. Feet to the mat. Curl, lift the chest. And lower all the way down. Beautiful, you guys. Hug your knees into your chest. Little rock and roll. Rock yourself up to sitting. Straighten out your legs in front of you. Set up for Dandasana. You're gonna bend your right knee and come into figure four. So the right ankle is gonna go underneath your left knee. So it's like a reverse figure four. Flex through both feet. Reach both arms to the sky. Take a big inhale. Lift up through the side body and fold forward as you exhale. So give a little bit more pull through that right heel. Chest lengthening forward, shoulders soft. And then inhale, come all the way up. Use your right hand, bring your right knee up, straighten your right leg. Second side, left leg bends, left ankle underneath your right knee. So the ankle supports the knee as you inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold. Feel the two sit bones heavy. There's a sense of pulling your left thigh deep into the hip socket. Spread through the toes, relax the shoulders. Inhale, come all the way up. Use your hand underneath the knee to bring the leg back to meet your right. Scoot yourself forward. If you're sitting on something, remove it as you reach your arms up towards the sky. We're going to slowly roll onto our backs and set up for a final twist. Hug your right knee into your chest when you come onto your back. And as you hug your right knee into your chest, let your right knee drop over into a twist. So pull the right knee over to the left. And let that left chest open, right chest open. Exhale, come back to center. Hug your left knee into your chest as you straighten your right leg. And then slide it over to the second side. Breathe across the left shoulder, feel the drop of the left ribs. Come back to center. And set yourself up for a really sweet, supported Shavasana. Give yourself this time. To completely unwind, to rest. To let go. And to soften. Slowly start to deepen your breath. And start to breathe into the fingertips and the toes. Place your hands over your front body and allow the breath to come back to the physical. One by one, bending your knees, and gently rolling over to one side. And if you can linger quietly for a moment, take a full breath across the back of your heart. Pressing yourself up to a seated position. Just feel whatever comes up for you. Notice how you're feeling, and also notice how you're breathing. And so as emotions fly, continuing to connect back in with our breath. It always roots us into this present moment where we truly know that everything will be okay. Bring your hands together. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in our homes. And may there be peace in the world. Namaste, everybody.